Dame Janet of Kuypers.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Dame Janet of Kuypers.
Hello. I was going to read 3 from another book, but because Thanksgiving is coming up and everybody's talking about eating turkey,
Yeah.
this vegetarian thought I would do the last 2 poems that appear in the book in depth. I'm glad that you smelled that one. This one has been converted into other things before. This is called Everything Was Alive and Dying. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths and trash cans every 50 feet, and trash every 10. And then a raccoon came right up to me. She had a few little baby raccoons following her. It was so cute. I wish I had my camera. And she walked right up to me and she said, "Thank you. Thank you for not buying furs. I know you humans are pretty smart. You've got to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves warm without killing me." And I said, "You know they don't do it for warmth. They do it for fashion. They do it for power." And she said, "I know, but thank you anyway." And then I walked a little further, and there was a stray cat. She still had a little neon collar on with a little bell. And she walked a few feet, and she stretched her front paws. Oh, she looked so darling. And she walked right up to me, and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she just looked at me for a second. Her little ears were standing straight up. And she said, "You know, in some countries, I'm considered a delicacy." And I said, "How do you know these things?" And she said, "When somebody eats one of you, word gets around." And then she said, "And isn't it funny, in some parts of the world, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you humans prepare them for slaughter, how you hang them upside down and slit their throats so their still beating hearts will drain out all the blood for you?" She said, "Isn't it funny how arbitrary your decision to eat meat is?" And I said, "Don't put me in that category. I don't eat meat." And she said, "I know." And then I walked deeper into the forest, managed to get away from the picnic tables and the outhouses that lined the forest edges. The roaring cars gave way to the rustling of tree branches, crackling of fallen leaves under my step. When the wind tunneled through, the wind whistled and sang as it flew past the bark and leaves. I walked, listened to the crack of dead branches under my step, and I felt a branch against my shoulder. And I looked up, and I could hear the trees speak to me. And they said, "Thank you for letting the endangered animals live here amongst us. We do think they're so pretty, and it would be a shame to see them go. And thank you for recycling paper, because you're saving us for just a little while longer. We've been on this planet for so long, embedded in the earth. We do have souls, you know. We cling with our roots. You can hear it in our songs. You don't want to let go." And I said, "But I don't do much. I don't do enough." And they said, "We know, but we'll take what we can get." And then I woke up in a sweat. So tell me Bob Dole, so tell me Newt Gingrich, so tell me Pat Buchanan, so tell me Jesse Helms, so tell me Jeb Bush, so tell me Ted Cuban Canadian Cruz, so tell me Entertainer-in-Chief Donald Trump, so tell me crooked Hillary Clinton, so tell me Barack Hussein Obama. If you woke up from that dream, would you be in a sweat too? Do you even know why we should save the rainforest? Oh, preserve the delicate balance. Just tear the whole forest down. What difference does it make? Put in some orange groves so our concentrate orange juice can be a little cheaper. Did you know that medical researchers have a very, very hard time trying to come up with synthetic cures for diseases on their own? It helps if they can first find its substance in nature. And a tree that appears in the rainforest may be the only one of its species with a potential cure, or one like it may be 2 miles away instead of right next to it. I wonder how many cures we've destroyed to plant more orange groves. Serves us right. And you know my motives aren't selfless. I know these things are worthwhile in my life. I'd like to find a cure to these diseases before I die of them. And I'm not just a vegetarian because I think it's wrong to kill an animal unless I have to. I also know that the excess protein pulls the calcium away from my bones and gives me osteoporosis. And I also know that the excess fat gives me heart attacks. And I know that we could be feeding 10 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. You know, I know you're looking at me and calling me an extremist, but I'm sitting here looking around me, looking in all the destruction caused by family values and thinking that the right, moral, non-violent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals so we can be wasteful and violent. We destroy our plants. We destroy our earth. We're even destroying our air. We wreak havoc on the soil and the atmosphere. We dump our wastes into our lakes. We pump aerosol cans and exhaust pipes. And you tell me I'm extreme? And these animals and these forests are calling out to me. The oceans, the wind. And I'm beginning to think that we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop. And deep inside we feel the pain of all that we've killed, and we try to control it by popping a chemical-filled painkiller. And we live through the guilt by taking caffeine, nicotine, morphine. We keep ourselves thin with saccharin, and we keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning. And when that's not enough, maybe a line of Coke. Or maybe someone will shoot themselves in the head in front of the mirror in the master bedroom, or maybe they'll just take some pills, go out to the garage, turn on the engine, and just fall asleep. In the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do. And I have to end on this final one that was just talking about the vegetarian stuff. And it's called On a High Horse Like This. But it's not as long as the other one. I listened to a hunter from Africa say, all life is sacred. And he said that after separating a small, thin, non-venomous snake from around a large African hawk-like bird's neck. Because you see, the bird attacks snakes, but that snake wouldn't be able to eat this large bird once it had died, and that would have been a senseless death. All life is sacred, you say. So I couldn't help but think, as a hunter, do you pray for the sacred dead after you've killed it? I mean, I don't usually vocalize when I'm on a high horse like this. And I've had to explain myself to meat eaters that no, these aren't leather shoes I wear, I'm a vegetarian, though I still have to feign a smile and commiserate with men eating slaughtered animal. Because, you see, I'd look like a fool for having beliefs people don't want to hear about any moral choice that's different from their own. I mean, we're Americans. If it's not human, or maybe a dog or a cat, eat it. It's that simple. But I married a hunter, a Marine who served our country, and he told me that every time he killed an animal, a part of him felt a regretful twinge of pain when he killed his prey. The prey that he searched for with a weapon that he could use before anything got close enough to be an enemy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting on my high horse again. It's convenient that people can get their kill from the grocery store without getting any blood on their hands. Anything to stop people from thinking about what they're doing. Because I've heard that killing something makes you feel something. And I thought